Welcome to AI News in 10, your top AI and tech news podcast in about 10 minutes. AI tech is amazing and is changing the world fast. For example, this entire podcast is curated and generated by AI using my and my kids' cloned voices. It's Saturday, May 23rd, 2026, and here's what's ahead in AI and tech. First up, a jaw-dropping claim from OpenAI. Its general reasoning model may have cracked an 80-year-old Erdős geometry problem. Discord just flipped the switch on end-to-end encryption for almost every call, raising the bar on consumer privacy. Trump Mobile says a website flaw exposed customer info, names, addresses, phone numbers, the works. A $67 billion utility Megadeal aims to keep data centers powered as AI demand explodes. And Microsoft is patching two actively exploited Defender 0 days, while CISA sets a hard deadline to fix them. Buckle up, we'll unpack what matters and why. But first, let's hear a word from our sponsors.
Need elite developers fast? Elite Coders connects you with rigorously vetted senior engineers in 24 to 48 hours. Staff augmentation, dedicated teams, or full project delivery, we've got you covered. Visit elitecoders.co to get started today.
Now let's dive into today's stories. Let's start with the headline grabber. OpenAI says an internal general-purpose reasoning model produced an original construction that disproves a classic Erdős conjecture from 1946, the unit distance problem in discrete geometry. The company shared remarks from heavyweight mathematicians, Noga Alon, Melanie Wood, Thomas Bloom, saying the approach looks legitimate, and crucially, that it doesn't just rediscover prior work, a misstep that dogged a previous OpenAI math claim. If this holds up under peer review, it's a watershed moment, a non-specialized AI connecting ideas across fields. Here, methods from algebraic number theory applied to a core geometry question to produce a genuinely new result. The signal is less AI can calculate and more AI can conjecture and construct, which is a different league. Some outlets are framing it as possibly the first time a general model has independently solved a prominent open problem central to a math discipline. Caution is still warranted. True validation in math takes time. But this is exactly the kind of capability that could spill over into physics, materials discovery, and cryptography, places where new structures and counterexamples unlock progress. Zooming out, why does this matter beyond bragging rights? If AI systems can reliably propose correct constructions in fields where no one knew the path, the bottleneck shifts from compute and data to vetting and integrating insights into human workflows. In other words, who checks the checker? Expect more labs to pair advanced solvers with independent verifiers and to publish both the result and the verification trace. That's where we'll be watching next. On to privacy you can feel. Discord has turned on end-to-end encryption across almost every voice and video call. DMs, group DMs, voice channels, and go live, by default. The only exception is stage channels, which are designed for broadcast-style events. This wasn't a flip of a switch hack. It was a multi-year engineering project that produced Dave, an open and audited end-to-end encryption protocol built to work across the messy reality of Discord, phones, laptops, browsers, PlayStation, Xbox, without tanking latency or call quality. Discord says Dave and its reference implementation have been externally audited and added to the company's bug bounty, and that the platform migration finished in early March before this week's public rollout announcement. Worth noting, text chats remain outside end-to-end encryption for now, given how deeply features rely on server-side processing. With Discord's scale, this is a notable privacy milestone in mainstream communications tech. Practically speaking, what changes for you? Calls should look and feel the same, but the keys that protect your audio and video now live at the ends, not on Discord servers. For creators and communities that hop across devices midstream, the achievement is less about crypto math and more about product integrity, encryption that doesn't break your experience. It also ups the pressure on rivals still rolling out partial or optional end-to-end encryption. Now, a messy security story with political overtones. Trump Mobile confirmed to TechCrunch that a flaw exposed customer data on the open internet, names, email addresses, mailing addresses, phone numbers, and order identifiers, apparently via a third-party platform used in its operations. The company says it's investigating and hasn't found evidence that content or financial information spilled, but it acknowledged the exposure and says it's evaluating notification obligations. The Guardian, citing an independent programmer's tip, reported that the personal details of an estimated 27,000 would-be buyers may have been accessible before the issue was addressed. If you ordered or even just registered interest, it's prudent to assume your contact info is out there. This looks like a classic case where basic web app hygiene, authentication, access controls, data segregation failed under real-world probing. Why does it matter beyond one brand? We're in an era when hardware launches are also data governance launches. Any company spinning up e-commerce and device logistics at speed, especially with a patchwork of vendors, needs to threat model the full chain, storefronts, order lookup tools, analytics dashboards, and support portals. Attackers don't care whose code it is if it answers their query with your customer's PII. Before we continue, here's a quick message from our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by Family GPT, the AI chat platform actually designed for kids. If your children are curious about ChatGPT, but you're worried about what they might see, Family GPT gives you full parental controls, content filtering, and the ability to align responses with your family's values, whether Christian, Muslim, Jewish, secular, and many more. Monitor every conversation, set usage limits, and let your kids explore AI safely. No ads, no data selling, complete privacy. Sign up free at familygpt.chat. That's familygpt.chat.
All right, let's get back to it. Let's talk power, the literal kind. NextEra Energy has proposed a $67 billion all-stock acquisition of Dominion Energy to create what the companies say would be the world's largest regulated utility by market cap, citing surging electricity demand from AI data centers as a core driver. Dominion sits at the heart of Data Center Alley in Virginia. NextEra brings Florida power and light scale, plus a deep bench in renewables and storage. The combined company told investors it sees a pipeline of more than 130 gigawatts of large load customers, data centers and similar, seeking to connect by 2032, more than 3 times New York State's total installed capacity. The politics are complex, federal and state approvals, nuclear oversight, but the through line is clear. AI isn't just a chip story, it's a wires, substations, and turbines story too. For AI builders and investors, the read-through is twofold. First, interconnection timelines and grid constraints are now kingmakers. Projects rise or fall on who can get megawatts to dirt fastest. Second, utilities and hyperscalers are moving from transactional to strategic. Joint campuses, flexible load designs, gas plus storage peakers, and transmission bets that match model roadmaps, not just rate cases. If you thought AI infrastructure ended at the data hall, this proposed merger says otherwise. Finally, keep your endpoints close and your updates closer. Microsoft warned that 2 Defender vulnerabilities, one privilege escalation bug in the malware protection engine and another issue in the Defender anti-malware platform, have been exploited as 0 days. Patches are shipping automatically, but enterprises should verify versions and ensure Defender platform updates are allowed to install. The US Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency added both CVEs to its known exploited vulnerabilities catalog and ordered federal agencies to remediate by Monday, June 3rd, under Binding Operational Directive 22-01. It's a reminder that security layers can themselves become attack surface, and that we'll get to it next patch cycle is not a plan in a 0-day world. A quick pro tip as you head into the weekend. If you manage Windows fleets, make platform updates allowed a compliance check, not a suggestion. Defender's engine and platform ship on their own cadences. Blocking those updates, even unintentionally, creates silent exposure windows that threat actors actively scan for. And yes, validate with a spot audit, trust, but verify. That's it for today. Recapping the Big Five. OpenAI's math claim could mark a new phase for AI-driven discovery. Discord quietly set a new floor for private calling. Trump Mobile's data fumble shows how basic flaws ripple into headlines. A $67 billion utility bet underscores that AI runs on electrons. And Microsoft's Defender 0 days are your weekend patch priority. See you next time on AI News in 10. Thanks for listening, and a quick disclaimer. This podcast was generated and curated by AI using my and my kids' cloned voices. If you want to know how I do it or want to do something similar, reach out to me at imad@ainewsin10.com. That's ainewsin10.com. See you all tomorrow.